Alright, Ramblers, let's get rambling. Now, I just reviewed Season 1 of Bates Motel, so what do you think I'm reviewing today? Season 2 of Bates Motel. And there are going to be spoilers from Season 1 in the Season 2 review. Why? Because there's some things that happen in Season 1 that have consequences now in Season 2. So, if you have not seen Season 1, stop watching this video right now. Go watch Season 1. And then come back and yeah, we'll talk about Season 2. Alright? Don't worry, guys. I'll still be here. Go watch Season 1. After you're done with Season 1, I will start watching Season 2. Watch Season 2, and then come back. I'll still be here, I promise. Alright, so Season 2 of Bates Motel. Like I said, there are some events that happened in Season 1 that have consequences, and we have to talk about some of them. So, the overall plot of Season 2 of Bates Motel is, spoiler alert from Season 1. Alright, did you get a good enough spoiler warning? Miss Watson, Norman's teacher, is dead. And we all know who did it, right? Okay. But she's dead, and she's dead. D-E-A-D, dead. I just... but anyway, Norman is pretty upset, and, he's kind of like obsessing over her death. He's visiting her grave all the time, and he's, grasping on her pearls while staring into the rain, because he's all creepy and shit, because he's Norman Bates, and Norma gets worried for him again, because Norma is a worried mother. She's always worried about Norman. But yeah, he starts like obsessing over her death, and his blackouts get a lot worse, and there's a lot of stuff that Norman has to deal with, and that's where he starts to build the taxidermy lab in his basement. He starts doing that a lot, and Norma's like, my child's very fucked up, and I know that, but I gotta help him somehow. So, anyways. They're doing more things with the bypass and stuff like that. The bypass stuff is pretty important this season. So yeah, it's important in the first couple of seasons. Season 3, not as much, but I'll get to that. But yeah, let's talk about a couple of the characters that I didn't really talk about in my Season 1 review. Like, for instance, Miss Watson. Miss Watson was very, very seductive, and I didn't talk about her because that was kind of going into spoiler territory, kind of, and I didn't want to risk, spoiling something for you guys, so I couldn't talk about Miss Watson. She's very seductive. I don't really like her as a character. I'm kind of glad she got killed off. She was really nice to Norman, but she was doing it in a very seductive way, and that's not right. So, where were these teachers when I was in high school? Anyway, not the point here. Anyways, another one is Bradley. And Bradley was like Norman's girlfriend in Season 1, where at first I'm like, wait a minute. The Norman Bates I know doesn't know how to talk to girls, he wouldn't have a girlfriend. But then I'm like, wait a minute, okay, this is before Psycho, but if he could talk to girls in his childhood, why couldn't he talk to girls in his adulthood? Maybe because he gets more psycho along the way. And Season 1 was kind of, like I said, it's a slow burn. The second half of Season 1 kind of picks up. Season 2, on the other hand, is a different story. Season 2 is great the entire time around. It's not as much of a slow burn. In fact, I liked it from the very second it opens. I really don't have any problems with it. Let's talk about Dylan, who's in this weed business and things like that. Dylan, he gets to do a lot more. He has his whole side plot in here that, kind of makes you like him as a character with, who the character is. And I really like the actor. And the kid was in a lot of stuff when he was younger. He was in My Soul to Take and The Pacifier. And, yeah, it's the same kid. But he's older now. But yeah, I do like Dylan as a character. Romero. I love Romero as a character so much. I know eventually everybody on the show is going to die, except for Norman. But, I don't want Romero to die. I don't. I really don't want Dylan to die now, but at first I could care less. But, that's one of the bad things about this show, one of the few complaints I have, is that you know eventually every single person in town is going to die, except for Norman. And which Freddie Highmore, he's pleased with that. I saw one of the Comic-Con panels. I can't remember which season, if it was season 2 or season 3 panel at Comic-Con, where Freddie Highmore, who plays Norman, came out and said, the great thing about playing this character is that I know I'm the only one that doesn't die. I'm like, respect! Alright. But yeah, there's so many characters in here that I like that I don't want to die, but I know eventually they're going to, and those days are going to suck. And that's great when you have characters like this who are so likable, and you do like a lot of these characters, but eventually they have to die. That sucks. That's a shitty feeling. But yeah, let's see, what else can we talk about? There's this guy named Nick Ford that comes in, and Nick Ford, he's kind of like the main bad guy of the season, and he's kind of a dick, and I don't like him, and there's really not much to say about Nick Ford without kind of spoiling stuff away, so yeah, let's not talk about Nick Ford. Let's see, Bradley, there's some stuff that happens with Bradley, and I'm kind of glad that stuff happens, because I don't really like Bradley as a character. Now, hold on a second, I'm not spoiling nothing. I didn't say she died. I didn't. I said something happens with her, and I didn't have a heart for her, I guess, because I don't like Bradley. So yeah, don't start thinking that I spoiled shit, because, hey, if you haven't seen the season, you wouldn't know. But if you have seen the season, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm glad that happened. But yeah, Freddie Highmore is perfect. And the great thing about this show is each season we get a little bit more hints and clues of, the development of Norman and how far psycho he's actually going. In season 1 we had a couple, mostly just the blackouts. This one, the blackouts are getting a lot worse. There's one point in the season where he does the Anthony Perkins smile, the iconic smile at the end of the original Psycho, where I'm not going to attempt to do it, but he's all like, that. And, you get to see him be like, holy shit, this is young Anthony Perkins. That's how good this kid is in this role, and I give him a lot of respect. Vera Farmiga, still hot, still sexy. I'd still do her. Let's move on to from Norman. There's a character named Emma, who's played by Olivia Cooke in the movie. And I like Olivia Cooke. I don't like some of the choices that she's made otherwise. But I love Olivia Cooke as Emma in the show. And Emma is a character who, again, I didn't talk about in season 1. Mainly because she wasn't as popular as she became later. Emma is this really, really nice girl, and she works at the motel, and she has a form of lung cancer, and she's walking around with an oxygen tank, and you feel bad for her, but on the other hand, she's one of those characters that's like, don't feel bad for me, I'm living life to the fullest and shit like that, and she is living life to the fullest, and I gotta give her a lot of respect, and, especially because I think a lot of people know people that have died of some form of cancer, and Emma is kind of that character where you can feel for this character, but, she doesn't want you to. She's like, no, I got this shit. I love Emma. I love Olivia Cooke in the show. I didn't talk about her in my season 1 review. Why? I honestly don't know. I didn't talk about her. Maybe because, she didn't have too much to do. Like I said, season 1 is a slow burn. I don't like Olivia Cooke in that movie Ouija, though. I thought Ouija is a pile of shit, and I can't stand that movie. However, I don't think that was her fault, though, by the way. However, in Bates Motel, she's a lovable character. I love what they do with Dylan. There's this guy named Caleb who comes in, and I can't talk too much about Caleb because that is, for sure, getting into spoiler territory. But when Caleb comes in, shit gets real. That's all I'm going to say. And in this season, I don't like Caleb as a character at all. He's not supposed to be likable. If you do like him, that shows how fucked up you are. But yeah. Don't like Caleb as a character at all in this season, but you're not supposed to, so it works. The actor's really good, so there's that. Like I said, season 2, it's not as slow of a burn as season 1 is. The development of Norman, and you get to see a little bit more of him going in off the deep end. He's kind of like, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. He's that. We get a lot more clues to that. Norma and Norman, still great Their relationship is kind of creepy and stuff like that because they're all really, really lovey-dovey shit. I mean, the dude's like 17, 18 years old, and he's all, laying in bed with his mother all cuddled up and shit. That's just fucking weird. I mean, but I also, here's the thing about that. His mom is played by Vera Farmiga. Wouldn't you do the exact same shit? I know I would. That sounded fucked up, but I would. So yeah, season 2, not as much of a slow burn. I love this season. I thought it was a real step up from season 1. For sure, I gave season 1 a B+, so I'm going to go ahead and give season 2 a solid A. I love Bates Motel season 2. So what do you guys think of Bates Motel season 2? Have you guys seen it? If not, you still have time to catch up. Season 4 starts on March 7th. So you have time to go watch the first 3 seasons of the show. There are only 10 episodes a season, so you should have enough time to catch up. Bates Motel Season 2, I absolutely love it. What do you guys think of it? Comment your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like the video, share, and subscribe. Just do it!